You may have heard that getting older is synonymous with losing vitality, energy, and time. That when you reach 50, 60, or 70 years of age, everything starts to go wrong. But the truth is that science has shown exactly the opposite. There are clear signs that many people, even after a certain age, are not only living longer, but living better. And maybe you are among those people. Today we're going to explore 9 surprising signs, recognized by scientific studies, that indicate whether or not longevity is on your side. Some of these signs you may not even imagine, and others may already be part of your routine without you realizing it. The most important thing is, it's never too late to cultivate habits that improve your quality of life. If you recognize yourself in several of these signs throughout the video, great, but if not, see this as an invitation to make simple and effective changes that can stay with you for many years to come. Oh, and before we start, make sure you're already subscribed to our channel. This helps us continue producing content that inspires, informs, and values your health. Now, let's look at the first sign, and it may already be part of your daily routine. Sign 1. You walk regularly. Few things are as simple as walking, and yet science is increasingly confirming that walking regularly is one of the most powerful habits for living longer and better. If you have the habit of going for a walk around the block, going to the grocery store on foot, or walking your dog every day, you should know that this could be significantly increasing your life expectancy. A study published in the journal JAMA Internal Medicine followed more than 16,000 adults over the age of 60 and concluded that those who took at least 8,000 steps per day had a 51% lower risk of mortality than those who walked less. And the most interesting thing, there was no need to run or make great efforts. Even a light walk brought great benefits. In addition, walking regularly improves cardiovascular health, reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, helps with weight control, stimulates the release of endorphins, and keeps joints active. And that's not all. Moving also strengthens the brain, preventing cognitive decline and diseases such as Alzheimer's. The good news is that you don't have to go out for hours every day. Short walks of 20 to 30 minutes taken regularly throughout the week can make a big difference. In fact, walking outdoors, in contact with nature, or even in familiar places also provides emotional well-being and reduces stress levels. Another factor that directly influences longevity. In other words, if you already have this habit, keep it up. And if you don't have it yet, this is perhaps the easiest sign to start cultivating it. A good walk, besides being healthy, can be enjoyable and even social if done in company. And speaking of company, the next sign of longevity has everything to do with the people around you. You may not even realize how much your relationships can impact your health and your lifespan. Sign 2. You have true friendships and active social life. Did you know that maintaining good social relationships can be just as important as taking care of your diet or exercising? Science has shown that consistent and healthy emotional ties are one of the pillars of longevity. Especially after the age of 50, researchers at Harvard University conducted one of the longest studies on well-being in history. The QZ research, which has lasted more than 80 years, concluded that the quality of interpersonal relationships is the most important factor in a long and happy life, more so than wealth, fame, or even genetics. Having someone to talk to, laugh with, share joy with, and even vent to in difficult times strengthens not only the emotional state but also the body. This is because stable emotional bonds reduce chronic stress levels, protect against depression and anxiety, and stimulate the production of beneficial hormones such as oxytocin. In addition, those who maintain an active social support network are more likely to adopt healthy habits, undergo medical checkups, and cope better with adversity. And we're not just talking about large social groups. Often just 1 or 2 true friendships or a positive family life are enough to reap these benefits. Participating in community activities, talking to neighbors, and attending groups, churches, or clubs are also ways to keep this social bond alive. If you feel connected to others, value your relationships, and make a point of cultivating the presence of friends and loved ones, this is a powerful sign. Your heart, literally and emotionally, is more protected, and this directly contributes to a longer, more meaningful life. Now, even with good company, there is something that needs to work well every day and often goes unnoticed: your sleep. In the next sign, we will discover how the way you sleep can be influencing, for better or for worse, the years of your life. Sign 3. You sleep well and regularly. Getting a good night's sleep is one of the most basic functions of the human body, and yet it's one of the greatest indicators of longevity. The quality of sleep has a direct impact on virtually every system in the body: cardiovascular, immune, hormonal, and even neurological. Studies published in the Sleep Health Journal show that adults over 50 who maintain a regular sleep pattern, getting between 6 and 8 hours of quality sleep per night, have a lower risk of developing chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, depression, and dementia. Sleeping well regulates metabolism, strengthens memory, repairs body tissues, and reduces chronic inflammation, which is one of the biggest causes of premature aging. But it's not just about the number of hours. Regularity also matters. Going to bed and waking up at the same times helps the body maintain a balanced circadian rhythm. However, interrupted sleep, constant insomnia, or excessive use of stimulants such as coffee at night can compromise this balance. If you are used to falling asleep and waking up easily, waking up feeling rested, and rarely having trouble sleeping, this is an excellent sign. And if you have trouble sleeping, it is worth looking for strategies such as avoiding screens before bed, keeping the environment dark and quiet, and creating a nighttime relaxation ritual. Sleep is like a natural cleaning for the body. During the night, the brain eliminates toxins, consolidates memories, and recharges its functions for the next day. Ignoring this is like trying to live with a slowly draining battery. And if this content has been useful so far, take advantage now and like the video. This will greatly help the channel reach more people like you who seek health and well-being based on quality information. Now, let's move on to the next sign. And it may be one of the most surprising. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact that having a purpose in life can have on your longevity? Sign 4. You have a clear life purpose. Living for the sake of living is very different from living with a purpose, and science shows that having a reason to get out of bed every day can be one of the most important factors for those who want to live for many, many years. A study conducted by the University of Michigan with more than 6,000 adults over the age of 50 revealed that those who reported having a strong sense of purpose had a lower risk of death from all causes. In fact, the difference in life expectancy between those who had and those who did not have a sense of purpose was as much as 7 years. But what exactly does it mean to have a purpose? It doesn't have to be something grand. It could be caring for your grandchildren, getting involved in a social cause, wanting to learn something new, or simply feeling like your presence matters to someone. This sense of purpose generates motivation, regulates mood, strengthens the immune system, and keeps the brain active. People with purpose tend to cope better with illness, recover faster from surgery, and adopt healthier behaviors. They also have lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and higher levels of dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good hormones. If you feel like you still have something important to do, contribute, or live, that's an excellent sign. Purpose works like an invisible fuel that moves your body and mind even when faced with the challenges of age. And here's a reminder: purpose is not about productivity or work, but about the personal meaning we give to life. You can discover or rediscover your purpose at any time, at any stage of life. Speaking of which, the next sign is all about staying mentally alive and engaged with the world. Let's talk now about the importance of keeping your mind active and how it impacts your longevity. Sign 5. You keep your mind active if the body needs movement, so does the brain. And when it comes to living longer, keeping your mind active is just as essential as keeping your heart healthy. The good news is that this doesn't depend on age, but on attitude. Studies show that people who maintain the habit of reading, writing, studying, playing games, learning new things, or solving mental challenges have a lower risk of developing dementia and neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. A study published in the journal Neurology found that elderly people who practice cognitively stimulating activities had a 32% slower cognitive decline than those who did not stimulate their minds. But keeping your mind active isn't just about doing crossword puzzles. It's about curiosity. It's about allowing yourself to learn something new, whether it's a language, a recipe, a musical instrument, or even tinkering with technology. Each new experience creates new neural connections, and that strengthens your brain like a muscle that's being trained. Additionally, staying mentally engaged improves mood, self-esteem, and a sense of autonomy. Seniors who stay intellectually active report greater life satisfaction and feel more capable of facing everyday challenges. If you have the habit of seeking out new learning experiences, playing games that challenge logic, or enjoying a good book, this is an excellent sign of longevity. Even simple activities such as talking about different topics, watching documentaries, or organizing your Finances. Keep your mind moving. The secret is not to be a genius, but to keep your brain awake. Curiosity is a form of inner youth that does not age with time. And since we're talking about inner youth, there's another essential factor for those who want to live longer: the way we eat. In the next post, we'll see how a balanced diet, even without radical diets, can directly influence your life expectancy. Sign 6. You take care of your diet even without strict diets. Nutrition is undoubtedly one of the pillars of longevity, but that doesn't mean sticking to radical diets or cutting out everything you like. Science shows that balance is the real secret for those who want to live longer and better. Long-lived people around the world tend to follow simple eating patterns, rich in natural foods, with low intake of ultra-processed products, and with a good variety of nutrients. The famous Mediterranean diet, for example, rich in olive oil, fruits, whole grains, vegetables, fish, and nuts, has been associated with reduced heart risk, cancer prevention, and better brain health, especially in the elderly. But it's not just about what you eat, but also how you eat. Eating meals slowly, chewing your food well, savoring your food, and respecting your hunger and satiety signals are common practices among people with a high life expectancy. Another important point is adequate protein intake, which helps maintain muscle mass, something essential as we age. It is also worth highlighting the regular consumption of fiber, which benefits the intestine, controls cholesterol, and promotes satiety naturally. If you have the habit of preparing your own food, choosing a variety of foods, and avoiding excesses without feeling guilty or neurotic, this is already an excellent indication of self-care and nutritional intelligence. Eating should be an act of nutrition and pleasure, not a source of stress. And you, how have you been eating lately? Take the opportunity to comment below. What healthy food is part of your routine and you can't do without it? It could be a fruit, a type of tea, a homemade recipe. I'd love to know. Now that we've covered what we put into our bodies, it's time to talk about what we feel inside and how that affects our health. In the next sign, we'll talk about how you deal with stress and how it impacts your longevity. Sign 7. You handle stress well. We all face difficult times. Stress is a part of life, but what science has made clear is that it's not stress itself that shortens our lives. It's how we deal with it. People who live longer are not those who have never faced problems, but rather those who have developed healthy ways of responding to difficulties. This means having strategies to relieve tension, staying calm in challenging situations, and, most importantly, not carrying the emotional burden for too long. Studies show that high and constant levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, are associated with premature aging, memory loss, a weakened immune system, and an increased risk of heart disease. On the other hand, those who deal with stress will tend to have more stable hormone regulation, less inflammation in the body, and more mental resilience. Simple techniques such as conscious breathing, meditation, prayer, quiet walks, or even talking to someone you trust can make a huge difference in how your body processes stress. And most importantly, developing the ability to reframe difficult situations and maintain a positive outlook when faced with problems is a common skill among older people. Many seniors who live well report that they have learned over time not to be shaken by things they cannot control. They prioritize what really matters, put aside minor irritations, and choose to maintain serenity as a daily practice. If you realize that, even when faced with challenges, you are able to recover, bounce back, and maintain a calm attitude, this is a powerful sign that your body and mind are prepared to last. And speaking of preparation, there's another habit that perfectly complements this emotional stability: regular physical activity, even at a light level. In the next sign, we will understand how the simple act of staying active can be one of the great secrets to longevity. Sign 8. You are physically active, even if only slightly. When we think of physical activity, it is common to imagine intense exercises, gym workouts, or long runs. But to live longer, the secret is less in intensity and more in consistency, and science confirms it. Being physically active, even if only lightly, is directly linked to a longer and healthier life. Research shows that older adults who exercise regularly have a lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and even certain types of cancer. In addition, physical activity helps maintain autonomy, strengthen muscles, protect bones, and improve balance, thus reducing the risk of falls, a leading cause of complications in old age. And Here's an important point. The human body was made to move. Simple things like sweeping the house, gardening, climbing stairs, dancing, stretching in the morning, or walking to the grocery store can make a difference when done regularly. These small actions, added together throughout the week, keep the body awake, active, and resilient. In addition to the physical benefits, exercise also has a direct impact on mood and mental health. The release of endorphins during any form of exercise helps reduce anxiety, improves sleep quality, and provides general well-being. If you already maintain a routine of light activities, whether for pleasure, necessity, or habit, you are creating an ideal environment for your body to function better for longer. And if you don't have this habit yet, it's never too late to start. Even 5 or 10 minutes a day with consistency can bring results. And the most interesting thing is that among the most active elderly, many also share another common characteristic, a special way of looking at life. They tend to see the glass as half full, even on difficult days. This more optimistic way of thinking also directly influences health and longevity. In the next sign, we will understand why maintaining a positive outlook on life can be one of the most powerful factors in living longer and with quality. Sign 9, you maintain an optimistic outlook on life. The way you view the world can have a profound and even measurable impact on your health. Maintaining a positive attitude toward life is associated with a series of physical and mental benefits that together contribute to longevity. Studies conducted by Boston University with more than 70,000 participants identified that optimistic people are more likely to live beyond the age of 85. This is because optimism is related to healthier behaviors, better stress management, and greater emotional resilience, all of which directly influence life expectancy. Being optimistic does not mean ignoring problems, but rather choosing to look at them with hope, believing in the possibility of overcoming them. Optimists tend to seek solutions, ask for help when necessary, and maintain habits that strengthen the body and mind. In addition, studies show that optimism is linked to lower levels of inflammation, better cardiovascular function, and even cell regeneration. Many older people report that they have learned to laugh more, worry less about what they cannot control, and value the present moment. They acknowledge the difficulties but choose to focus on the good things in life, be they loved ones, small everyday joys, or the simple pleasure of continuing to live with dignity. If you tend to see the bright side of things, even in the midst of adversity, this is a sign that you are strengthening not only your emotions but also your physical body. Positive thinking, when sincere and consistent, transforms your health from the inside out. And if this video is helping you see life from a different perspective, leave your like here right now. This shows us that this content made sense to you, and it also helps us spread this message to other people who also deserve to live longer and better. We've reached the end of this journey through 9 surprising signs that, according to science, indicate that you can live a long life and live well. If you recognized yourself in several of these signs throughout the video, congratulations. Your lifestyle, your attitudes, and your outlook on life are benefiting your health in a profound way. But even if you don't have all of these habits yet, the most important message is there's always time to start. Longevity isn't a fixed destination. It's a path that you build every day with small decisions, route adjustments, and conscious choices. And as promised, here's a bonus tip. Cultivate gratitude every day. Studies show that people who practice the habit of being grateful, even for simple things, have fewer symptoms of depression, sleep better, have lower blood pressure, and feel more satisfied with life. Gratitude is like an emotional exercise that strengthens the brain, reduces stress, and increases the perception of well-being. You can write down 3 good things about your day before you go to sleep. You can mentally thank someone. You can simply acknowledge that being alive today is a gift in itself. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's there, and that has a profound impact on the quality and length of your life. Remember, living a long life is not just a matter of time, it is a matter of how you live that time. Every choice you make now will have an impact on your future years. Taking care of your body, mind, and relationships is a way of honoring your own life. If you like this content and want to continue receiving videos with practical tips, interesting facts, and valuable information about health and well-being in adulthood, subscribe to the channel now. It's free, quick, and ensures that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos that we have prepared with so much love for you. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself and live life to the fullest.